Being in a room with this guy feels like being hardwired to a high voltage power line.
He just flexes with Lamborghini, with Rolls Royce, with luxury lifestyle, with first class flights. And please, can you come? I'm hosting a meeting. There will be 700 of my sales partners. I want to invite you as a guest speaker. But the other side of the cost, this is one side of the cost. The other side of the cost is the energy which you are radiating in the sales call. Success is often a removal process. So you need to ask yourself, what should I remove to become more successful?
Welcome to today's talk, Raphael Zenaty.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
For those who may not know you, use a couple words and describe what you actually do.
Sure. So first of all, thank you for having me on the podcast, my very first English podcast. So I'm also happy about that. Yeah, what I'm doing. My name is Raphael Zenaty. I'm entrepreneur. I'm visionary. I'm mentor for a lot of people in the German area, in the German market, in the German space. And basically, what I'm doing is, since I was 15, I was building something, not in a physical sense, but building something in a sense of plans, building the roadmap to visions, and also building the path for a lot of other people, which then turned also into physical things, because I also have physical businesses. And now 11 years later, after I had the first thought in my head to become entrepreneur, to become successful, to envision my dream life, I'm a multiple business owner. I'm running different companies across the globe, and I'm mentoring people because this is my passion, what I truly feel in my heart, that I want to help people to become more successful in the inside and on the outside. So very similar to what is your mission in this world. And yeah, I'm also somebody who's enjoying the life. I'm a student of life, and I enjoy every moment and try to be as present as possible in every moment. And with this, to inspire a lot of people.
That's a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. And you managed already to build a large audience and some would say a huge success. Is there something that some people misunderstand about your work and what you do?
Yeah, it's a good question, Chris. So the first thing many people misunderstood, maybe my background for the people who don't know me, because my content is just in German until now. I started my first business activities when I was 15 years old, and I started to have the interest in business, in mindset, in reaching your goals, etc. also from this age. Maybe we can talk about this a little bit later, like how were the first steps in my entrepreneurial career. But the thing people misunderstand is, fast forward in my journey, when I was 19 years old, when I just turned 19, I started in one of the biggest financial sales companies in Austria as a self-employed sales partner in a distribution system. So I had the possibility to build clients, to build team partners, and I didn't have a fixed salary. I was not in a normal 9-to-5 job there. I was building my own business, and I was just paid in commissions from the revenue I and my team generated together. And I started this business on the 3rd December of 2018. And 1 year and 11 months later, I was the youngest with 21 years old and the fastest to ever reach the highest career position in this finance and insurance distribution company and network. And the people thought that it was like an overnight success. The people thought, oh, in 1 year and 11 months, from nothing, from zero, you became extremely successful. And the thing that people didn't see, yeah, I was financially wise almost on zero. But the thing that people didn't see is that years before, 4 years before, since I was 15 years old, for those 4 years, I didn't go out to clubs every weekend like most people in my age did. I didn't play video games. I didn't do a lot of things that the other guys from my school or from my class or in my age group did. Every day after school, I started to study the laws of the universe. I studied the law of attraction. I studied sales. I studied entrepreneurship. I studied leadership. I studied all of those things. And I tried my first ventures. I did my first network marketing business also at the age of 15 years. And the first business I did, it was not overwhelmingly a lot of money, which I've made, but I went to meetings. I started to read the first books. I had the first mentors, and I learned really a lot. I built my base. And then after 4 years of building the base, the right opportunity came into the right place, to the right time. And then I started my career, and within 2 years, I became a self-made millionaire. So this is the first thing a lot of people quite misunderstood. They thought it was like overnight success, but there were some years building up towards this success. When the right opportunity came, that then I also could get the results really fast. And also, maybe the second thing, people who don't know all of my story misunderstand is that they think maybe Raphael is just one of those other online gurus who is just building his success and his fortune with trying to coach or teach people something that he didn't live or didn't do by himself. And as I mentioned before I even started to post content online, I already made more than 1 million euros in my financial sales career without using any social media promotion, which is not bad. I would recommend each and every entrepreneur, also in the traditional businesses, to use social media, to use new technologies, to go digital. This is nothing bad. But maybe people misunderstand and say, hey, he just has his success because he's trying to flex online. But a long time before I did this, I already had success in different areas. Also, I co-founded one of the fastest growing gastronomy companies, Kaisers. We're having over 30 franchise partners at the moment, and we started this late 2021. So I'm also part of some foundings and different businesses. So this is a thing maybe people don't understand. And one more thing, because I mean, we know each other. I think everyone who knows me and who knows what I'm doing, also in the mentoring part, knows that I'm really doing this with my heart and not just for like financial gain or something like this. I really want my clients and my mentoring members to succeed. This is really something what fulfills me, what I do with passion, with love, with compassion. But also one thing people don't understand is he just flexes with Lamborghini, with Rolls Royce, with luxury lifestyle, with first class flights, and just wants to promote himself. And in a sense, of course, it's self-promotion, because each and every business owner needs to promote so that people can see your message, so that people get your attention. But this is exactly the point. I don't do this just because I want to show, hey, I'm driving my Lamborghini, which I've bought with 24 years old, and I'm so cool. No, I'm doing this because like this I get the attention. And if I have the attention of a person, then I can fulfill my mission. Then I can support him, I can teach him, I can bring him on the right path, and I can share more of my vision with more people through those things what I'm doing online. So this is something where the people need to have a second glimpse that they really understand this.
It's a very impressive story, and what I find astounding is that with the age of 15 years, you already had the chance to look into the laws of the universe, to figure out what your vision is for the future. And I think this is also a huge part why you are so successful in this field, because I would, as an outside standing person, say you found your purpose. Yeah. And I think that this is one of the most important things that you can do in your life, to be open to what life has to offer you and then actually find what you are here to do. Yeah. So can you maybe describe in a couple of words, was there something that led you to finding out what your purpose is, and how can people out there replicate finding their purpose in their life?
That's a great question, my friend. So basically, the first thing, when I was 15 years old, I had the first, I told you, the first activities in network marketing, and I started to organize events. I also tried dropshipping, I did e-commerce, and basically it's a funny story because everybody was talking about e-commerce and online stores, etc. This was 11 years ago, and I made an online store, a Shopify store. I ordered for 4,000 euros products from China, which I've designed by myself. They were bracelets, and my father gave me the 4,000. I don't come from a rich family. When I was 18 years old, I basically went to, or 17, 18 years old, I basically went to work as a waiter every Saturday, every Sunday, every Friday evening, because I was one of the guys with the lowest pocket money from the parents. And now my father is working together with me in companies. He's also now a well-established business consultant. But in the time I was 16, 17, 18, he also had some struggles financially, and he also didn't have like a company built which he could give me. He was in management positions, but then there were some issues with the companies, etc. So basically, I don't come from a rich background. This is just very important always for me to state this, because also this is a good point. Some people get wrong. They are thinking that the money or the cars or the success is coming from my father, because they check, the CEO of one of Raphael's companies is his father. But what they don't understand, I gave my father this possibility and the position to work with me together in my company. One of my real estate companies, I gifted my father, because I'm thankful for all of the support he gave me, not financially, but in all other ways. I gifted him shares of my company. So this is also something people might get wrong, because when I drive with my Lamborghini, I hear, when do you have to return the car to dad and things like that. So basically the 4,000 euros my father gave to me, and I also gave it back to him after some time, but I didn't know how to sell those bracelets, because I didn't know anything about online marketing, and I didn't at this time have more capital, because I used all of the capital for the stock. I didn't have more capital for coaching or for ads, media agencies or whatsoever. So I needed to be creative and find a way of selling those bracelets. So my idea was, tied to this network marketing business, which a school friend of mine showed me, I thought, okay, wait, I will go to people from my school and I will tell them, sell 5, 6, 7 bracelets to people from your family, to your friends, and I give you 50% of the revenue you're creating. So I built my first own distributional company with my bracelets, and then I had seen the first results, the first success. I made money. I could give back the money to my father. I had a little bit of money which I started to invest into my event business. I rented clubs and I did clubbings for 16 and 17 years old, like school clubbings. And this was then my second venture. And because you asked about finding your purpose, one thing I always loved to communicate. I always loved to inspire people. I always was somebody who was the motivator, who was motivating people of ideas. If I had an idea, I was like with a fire inside of me, and I always could bring this fire to other people. I could convince them and inspire them to do things. So then it was naturally my path to go into sales. And this, coupled with the knowledge I learned since I was 15 years old, because I learned entrepreneurship and I studied billionaires, and all of them said the one very important skill you should learn is sales, is distribution. This, coupled with my natural strengths, was then for me clear. Okay, I want to do something in sales, and I just needed to find the right system. And then the right system in this financial industry was brought to me. I was at the seminar, like at the business summary seminar, where they explained their distribution model, their business model. And I said, hey, you know what? In this business, I can grow. I can make more than 5 figures per month. I can build something very big. I don't have limitations. And so I started. And so I found my personal passion. And my second passion, the passion of not only doing sales, but the passion of coaching people and mentoring people, this also then was found naturally, because after I achieved my highest career position, I asked myself what was leading me to this point, because at this point I was 21 years old. I had 1,000 people in my sales organization, 1,000 people who were working in my business from 18 to 65. I had 65-year-old guys who were listening to me as a 21-year-old leader. And I asked myself, was it only the sales skill? Was it marketing skill? And the skill was coaching people in the way of discussing and identifying where are they right now? What are their current strengths? What are their current life circumstances? What are their goals? And through my possibility to inspire people, to motivate people, I also could inspire them to sit down and write down their goals, to think about their goals, to speak with me about their goals, to also light up this fire in them. And then I was just good at comparing, okay, you're here, you want to go there. And I just could clear a roadmap how they come from A to B. So basically, one of the huge success pillars of building this huge sales organization in this short amount of time was my ability to coach people. And then the market came. I didn't have the plan to do a sales coaching or to do seminars or to do a mentoring. This also naturally came because I wanted to build my financial sales team bigger and bigger and bigger and start with real estate and do my own real estate investments and things like that. But then one of the biggest sales teams from Germany, from the same company, the German division, came to me and said, Raphael, you did an outstanding career. Everybody wants to know, how did you do that? You broke all of the companies and insurance distribution records in Germany, in Austria. Please, can you come? I'm hosting a meeting. There will be 700 of my sales partners. I want to invite you as a guest speaker. I went there as a guest speaker. I was invited to Munich. I flew there. I made a seminar or a guest part, 2 hours, about my success story. And the people were so inspired. Afterwards, I can remember to this day, it was 2021, the people were like in a crowd around me, asking me questions, asking me how I did it, and were telling me how inspired they were from my journey and from my story. And I asked, do you offer mentorings? Can you explain me your sales process? How is your sales script? How did you find all of those sales partners? Do you offer a seminar? Can you do a seminar for our team exclusively, explaining just how you're doing this? Maybe 2 days, just telling us how you build your sales team, how you're leading the people, etc. And then in my head came the idea, because there was a market suddenly, there was a demand. I said, you know what, guys? I will do exclusively for this team my first seminar, my first Vertriebs masterclass, like sales masterclass in English. And I organized the event. I booked the room with 100 seats. I just put the ticket link online with 100 tickets. And I think within 3 days it was sold out. My very first seminar. And then I started with the seminars, and I made seminars. I made one-to-one coachings with clients. But then I saw the demand got huger. And the people said, Raphael, you have a seminar, but you don't have a program where we can join. And then was the birth of my mentoring program, like Vertriebs Academy, Zenaty Academy in English, Sales Academy. And then I started 2023 to also build my online coaching program and my mentoring community, where I'm doing weekly live courses and things like that. And yeah, this is what was the second way into my passion, which is now also a multiple seven-figure business. So this was my way. And for everybody who is listening out there, I always recommend very simple steps. The first thing you need to think about is, what am I good at? What are my natural strengths? Am I good in rolling out strategies? Am I good in feeling other people? Am I good in inspiring, motivating? Am I good at speaking? Am I good at solving problems? So just first of all, think about, what are your strengths? What is your nature? Get to know your nature, get to know your true self, and you will feel, okay, these are my born gifts that I have, which I can bring into the world. The second thing is, what interests do you have? Are you interested in technology? Are you interested in AI? Are you interested in traditional business operations? Are you interested in hospitality? Are you interested in sports? What is your interest? What is your passion? And the third thing is truly to connecting with your deeper self, trying to communicate with your inner self, and just feeling intuitively, where is my life energy bringing me to? When I'm sitting with myself and I'm completely still in a completely calm state of being, if you start to speak loudly to yourself and asking to yourself, Raphael, what is our mission in this life? Which story do we want to tell when we were 85 years old? What interest do we have, or what could we do that really lights up this inner fire? If you really ask yourself and give yourself the room to listen to this inner conscious, you will get an answer. And this combined, like this, you can find like a spectrum of things, and then you can just try out some things and feel, is my life energy supporting me, or is my life energy rather pushing me away from these things? And this would be my recommendation. What would you say? Because maybe a lot of young people are listening to us. You also found your way, your passion. How was your path?
I think you said something very interesting there about stillness, and I think that we have to like underline this in today's society, because as soon as you stop consuming and start being still, start to listen to yourself, you will be surprised what things your subconscious, your intuition will tell you about yourself and about the world out there. And as soon as you are in this state and you start actually creating something, you will very soon figure out what you are made for and what your purpose is. And then you can hone in your skills, build your skills, and you will see that when you are on this path, on this journey, and take one step at a time, the right people will suddenly appear in your life. You will meet, you will make the right connections. You will meet, open the right doors, and that's something so beautiful about this world, that when you truly on the path of finding your purpose and you start to get to know yourself, you will just see that everything will be revealed in front of you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So you said that you also teach sales, but I would say not sales in the traditional sense, but maybe you can say a little bit about what sales is really about in your view.
Sure. So sales is one of my huge passions. I love to sell. I did more than 5,000 sales meetings or sales conversations by myself. I'm teaching not only in the B2C area, people who want to learn selling or want to learn to build their business. Also, I get hired by larger corporations, B2B clients, who are organizing me to teach their sales team, because sales in a traditional way, or sales by definition, is to convincing somebody of doing a decision. So convincing somebody of doing the decision to join your program, to join your sales team, to buy a product, to buy a service, but also convincing somebody to give you a job, convincing somebody because you want to go to this restaurant if there are many options. So basically sales is helping somebody, bringing somebody to a decision for a specific output. And for me, sales is an energy game, because sales in the deepest essence is just a form of communication. Because if you're selling through a website, the website is communicating something to the potential client, to the lead. If you see a marketing billboard, which is one of the fundamental components which should lead to sales, in the second part, the marketing part, is something which is building up to sales. Because why is Apple posting billboards with their iPhones? Not because they want to waste money on this, not because they think, hey, we just want to give you a nice image of our product, because this should later lead to brand awareness, trust in a brand, marketing, so that later a sale can happen. So everything is communication. Also, sales is a communication. And for me, in communication, the most important thing is the energy. Because it's not just what you're doing, what you're saying, or of course how you're saying it, but with which energy are you doing it? With which energy are you communicating? So for me, the most important principle in sales is your energy, not just your script. Because you know what, Chris, we can give 10 people the exact same script. And those 10 people can talk to 100 potential leads. I can guarantee you all of them will have different results. All of them will have different percentages of closing the deals. Because how you do it, with which energy, always influence and impacts the result. Because I talk a lot about the law of cause and effect. That every result which you want to see externally first should be created internally and with the right action step. So basically, if we want to have this table, you have to have the vision of this table inside of yourself. Then you need to make a plan, and then you really need to do the physical action to physically also have the finished result and the finished product. So the script or your sales technique, your question technique, your objection handling technique, all of those things are important, and I teach all of those things because this is the physical and the action part. But the other side of the cause, this is one side of the cause. The other side of the cause is the energy which you are radiating in the sales call. The energy of presence you have, because if you're not present, if you're already at the next word in the script, yeah, it can work, but you will never truly understand the other person as well as if you're present and just feel and see and observe what are the needs of the person, what are the fears, what are the stepping stones or blockages which might still be here. And if you understand this, then you can communicate completely different. Then you can individualize your sales talk or your sales conversation. Also, if you have your straight line. Also, if you have your sales process. But you can much more individualize it to the person across to you. And then if you do this with your heart energy, because you really want to help the person, help the lead with your offer, with your service, with your product, then the other person will feel something completely different. Because you can feel, hey, this guy just wants to sell me something and he doesn't care about me. Or this guy, yeah, of course he wants to sell me something, but he wants to sell me something because he wants to help me in my situation, because he really wants to give value, because he really cares about my point at the moment in my life and how his product, his service can help me in a specific way. It doesn't always need to be life-changing. It can help you. I don't know, if you sell a comedy show, you can bring somebody a good time, a joyful moment. So my take on sales, it's an energy game, and it's a game of how present are you, how conscious are you, because the higher my consciousness got, the less I needed a script, the less I needed a concept, the less I needed preparation, because I could flow naturally. I just could naturally have a high energy conversation. I had this life's intelligence, because life has an intelligence. You have a higher self with a massive intelligence, but you can only tap into this intelligence if you're not all of the time locked in this thought process of your mind. And this is my take on it. Of course, a script is perfect to learn sales. Also, my sales partners get a script first that they learn. The first 100 calls they are doing and they are reading the script, or they have it as a help. Of course, this is useful. But the goal is to become so good at it that in the moment when you're doing it, you become it. And if you become it, you flow naturally. You don't need to think about it. It's just something what you're living, what you're expressing. And that's why sales, for me, like life, is an energy game and is a consciousness thing. So this is my take on it, and this is what I'm teaching the people out there in a world of, just basic sales scripts, that it's okay to use it, but it's more to it.
That's very interesting. And I think what you said there can be boiled down to that you don't need to learn sales, but you first have to figure out who you are. You have to embody who you are and bring this best version of yourself, if you want to call it your higher self, outside into the world, because then and only then you will bring the energy to the table that it needs to communicate to the other people what they can actually have if they work with you, right? So sit down and start talking with yourself and go into this stillness, listen to your intuition, listen to who you can be, and then you will figure out who you are, and if you bring this self, this you that you carry inside of you to the table and be authentic with it, then you will also bring that energy.
And also one more thing I need to add to this point. I said it before, what we wish to see externally, we shall first create internally. So your outside world is a mirror of your inner state of consciousness, of your state of being. The outside world just reflects the causes and the energy you radiate, and therefore what you attract into your life. So also in the game of sales, if you want to get specific results, in the outside, if you want to see a high closing rate, or if you want to attract the right clients, it also starts with your energy. It also starts inside of you, because each and every result in the outside you can cause and you can start to create internally. So also in this aspect, not only of the process of doing it, also in the process of attracting the right clients, of attracting the right people at the right time. Also for this, the consciousness part is very important.
Absolutely. And as you said before, there are many laws of the universe which you already got into learning at a very young age. And one law specifically I like a lot, which is the law of mentalism, that basically everything starts in your mind. So when you create the vision in your mind, then you can always find a way how you can make it reality, right?
Yeah, 100%. And also, I always explain this to the people quite simple. Look at everything around you. Look at the microphone, look at the iPhone, look at this glass, look at the t-shirt, look at this watch. It was first a vision inside of somebody. It was not just there. It was an inner vision, it was an inner picture inside of a person, inside of somebody who just got it intuitively, or he was thinking about it in his process. He just got the information channeled from the higher self. Or another example, everybody knows the tallest building in the world at the moment, Burj Khalifa. My apartment is facing Burj Khalifa. I'm living maybe 100 meters far off the Burj. So when I wake up in the morning and I let my jalousies up, I see straight in front of me the Burj Khalifa in Dubai downtown. And this building was first a vision, a mental image. Exactly how you said, it was a mental image. And then the plan was created. And then, because of this plan, the people knew what to do, and then they took the action steps. Then they started building, and now we have the finished product. And the universal laws, they are, for me, the absolute game changer. They were the absolute game changer in my life, because the universal laws, they are like the exact explanation of how to live in abundance, how to live successfully, and how to live fulfilled and rich in the inside and out. The universal laws, they explain us how to live. They are like rules. And the sad thing is that the most people are not aware of them. Doesn't matter if it's the law of mentalism, if it's the law of assumption, if it's the law of attraction, the law of resonance, the law of frequency, the law of masculine and feminine energy. I'm just trying to translate now the words, because I'm talking about this in German each and every day into the English expressions. But this is also my recommendation to the people out here watching the podcast. I mean, myself and Chris, me in German, Chris in English, we're talking exactly about those things. We're teaching exactly those things. Not only what they are, but also how to integrate it into your life. Because first you get aware of them, then you start to study them, and then the most important thing is to also live in congruence with them and start to implement them in your life. And I mean, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm teaching people, this is what you're doing, what you're implemented into your life with great success, what you're teaching now the people in the English space. So from my point of view, it doesn't matter which business you're doing, at which point in your life you are, and how old you are, or where in the world you live. You really should be aware of those universal laws, and you should study them, and you should start to implement them in your life.
Absolutely, because they are the building blocks of our reality. And as you said, once you understand them and learn how to apply them in your daily life, you will start to literally create the reality for yourself that you desire, right?
Yeah.
You create the image in your mind, then you bring it to life, you bring it into your reality. That's how you attract the life that is a life worth living for yourself.
100%.
You also had mentors in your life, and if I remember correctly, Tepperwein had a very great impact on how you see consciousness, how you see awareness. What or which of his teachings would you say impacted you most?
That's a great question. So the first and foremost thing everyone should understand we're not just the body. We're not just the mind. We're not just the thought. We're not just our feeling. We are the observer of all of those things. We are in the purest essence, pure consciousness, which is nothing else than pure life. So if I understand that I'm pure consciousness, or we can also in a biblical sense call it soul. If I know that I'm a soul, if I'm pure consciousness, if I'm pure life force, embodied in a physical body to experience this physical world, this physical experience, this physical realm, then your life will completely change. Because once I truly understood this, that I'm not just Raphael who I see in the mirror, that of course this is also a part of myself, this is my human existence, this is my physical self. But the deeper, the higher self is pure consciousness, which can observe the human self in this experience, in this world. Once I started to really understand this, my life changed completely, because I knew, first of all, I had the answer to what happened before me, what happened after me. Our true self is eternal. Our true self, your true life force, your soul, it cannot die, it cannot not exist. It's just changing the experiences. It just is changing the forms, but it just is. So this was the first huge realization for me. I lost so many fears because of this, because I knew what are 80, 90, 100 years compared to eternity? What is one experience compared to unlimited experience our soul, our true self is experiencing in the lifetime of eternity? Why should I be scared of something what can affect my physical body, my physical experience or existence, but not my true existence? So a lot of fears, the fear of dying and all of those things just vanished once I understood that I'm much more than just the physical self, that I'm awareness, that I can observe my thoughts. If I can observe my thought, I cannot be the thought. If I can observe my feeling, I am not the feeling. I have a feeling, but I'm not the feeling. I have the inner mind process and this inner voice, but I'm not all of those things. I'm the observer who can see and who can experience this, and can experience also to view the physical Raphael from the outside, the silent observer. So this was the most important teaching of one of my great mentors called Tepperwein. And once I started to live as this, also the next thing, problems didn't seem the same as before. Because before, when I just was bound to my physical experience, when I was facing a problem, I was identified with the problem. Because I'm now in this situation, and so I have this problem, I am this problem now. But once I started to realize, okay, the physical Raphael or the ego self is in the problem now. My higher self, my true self, is observing physical Raphael in the problem, then I cannot be part of the problem. I'm the observant of the problem, so I'm not longer the problem. And in this other state of being, I can suddenly switch the perspective and start to experience and realize what is the solution. Because the true self cannot be sick. The true self cannot have any problem. The true self cannot be distinguished or cannot be in a situation which cannot be handled. It's not possible. Maybe just possible in the physical world, but not in the true world. And this gives you a sense of clarity, a sense of extreme inner power, a sense of inner wisdom, and a sense of inner peace, which is summarizing complete fulfillment in your heart. And this is exactly my teaching now also to the people, to live in the outer sense, in outer abundance, in outer freedom, to live the life of your dreams. Also, if there can be something from your ego, yeah, I can say, I want to drive a Bugatti. And maybe a part of this is just my ego which is enjoying this, but it's not bad, because the ego is not the devil if you don't let your ego control you. Many people put the ego as the devil, but my ego is my friend. I love my ego. And if my ego wants to experience something in the outer world, why should I not give him this experience? Because my true essence, if I need it, This is other question. But also the consciousness wants to experience what it can create and what can be here in the physical world lived and built. So this is my point of view on my truth, where it also maybe contradicts other spiritual teachers. But this was one and the first big learning of my mentor, that we are more than just the body, we're higher consciousness. And this, if you just feel this now and realize this, you feel a completely other quality of the present moment. And when I did my first astral experience, astral dream, where I really did an outer body experience, then I just also experienced that I'm more than just a body. I just then also experienced it in the physical realm. So this was the first thing, and there were so many more. I could talk hours about this, but also the second thing was the universal laws. How I can integrate the universal laws as a human in this physical world. And one of the most important of those laws, he really taught me the laws of cause and effect. And then I studied those teachings, but I deepened them even in the world we are living today. How you don't only can hear them and say, wow, this sounds amazing, but how you can actually, as a spiritual consciousness in a physical human existence, can implement it to just also enjoy your life and your time here.
Absolutely. And this realizing that you are the observer, it feels like a real life cheat code, right? Because suddenly you realize, okay, I have this magic wand of focus, and wherever I point my focus, I will receive more of this.
Yeah.
And as you said before, if you find yourself in a problem and you step out of the problem and become the observer and just direct your focus in a different direction, see the problem in different light, then you will soon see that your life completely changes. You attract the things that you put your focus on. So focus on the good parts of life. And this is also what you practice very, very successfully, this high frequency living, high energy living. Surround yourself with beautiful things. And they don't even need to be expensive, right? Like everybody has a big city in their surroundings where they just can go to an expensive hotel, sit in the lobby, enjoy a coffee, and work from there. Surround yourself with beautiful things.
And also you said it, focus, energy. Where focus goes, energy flows. So the problem that most people have is that they focus all of the time on the things that they don't want to experience, the things that they want to remove from their life. They focus on their problems, on all of the negative things, and then they wonder why my life is not changing. But if you constantly and repeatedly focus on the things that you want to avoid, you attract exactly those things. And those states in your life, they will not change, they will become even more. Because you intensify them through constantly putting your energy into those things. But one thing everybody should know, energy is the source for creating things. If you give energy to something, the thing will grow. If you extract or if you remove your energy from something, the thing will get less. Very simple example. If I invest energy into having contact with my good friend, who I also consider a brother, Chris, for example, we will meet more often, we will have more conversations, and it leads to do something like this, a podcast together. If we meet one time and I don't put any energy into having contact with him and we don't speak ever again, then there will be no podcast, there will be no other things which we are doing, no meetings, etc. pp. So it's really simple to understand this concept, but not a lot of people live it. Where focus goes, energy flows. And it doesn't matter who is listening to this podcast. Most people, I think, who listen to this podcast, they have ambitions, they have goals for their life, they have a vision. Otherwise, they would not tune into our podcast. But you really need to understand those principles. You really need to try to consciously think about which things you want to give your attention to, which things you want to give your focus to. And not focus on him anymore, all of the bad things in your life, all of the things which are negative. Try to focus on a state of being which fits to the life you want to see on the outside. Try to focus on a higher state of vibration and frequency, try to focus on the solution instead of the problem. Try to focus on what are the next steps to making more money, to getting new clients, to getting more momentum, to building my sales team. You always can put your focus on the things that you want, and then the energy will flow there, and then the creation will start to happen there, and then you will start to receive possibilities, ideas, answers, all of those things. So this is very, very important.
And I think this especially holds true also in regards to your self-image.
Yeah.
Focus on the parts of your self-image that you would like to see grow. Like, focus on the positive parts. Focus on how you want to be, and you will see yourself getting there step by step.
100%. Also, this is a great thing Chris is talking about right now. Your self-image and your word image creates your perception, and your perception creates how you perceive reality. Because we live in a world where there are so many different forms of reality, and each and every person sees the world through his own lens. Because you don't see the world as it is most of the time, you see the world how you are. So only when you are becoming true consciousness, you can really see the truth clearly. But also then your inner belief systems and your programming in your subconscious mind and your self-image, your world image will dictate which energy you're radiating, will dictate how you see a situation. Because let's say the glass, now it's pretty full, but everybody knows this example. If the glass would be half full, you can say it's half full or it's half empty. Both is correct if the glass is exactly filled to the half. But these are two different views. The one person who is rather pessimistic says the half is glass empty. The optimistic person says, hey, the glass is still half full. So how you see yourself and how you see the world forms your personality, and your personality creates your personal reality. Because your inner state will truly reflect your outer state, influence your outer state, and therefore what you do, which actions you take, which energy you are bringing out to the world, bringing out to the people you're talking to, your business, your partners, your clients, and all of those things. So this is exactly the thing, what you said, your self-image is reflecting outside, how also other people perceive you, and it's the law of assumption. And also one of my favorite laws, the law of assumption, states that what we assume to be true for our reality, what we in us decide as reality, we will then attract into our life. Because we will take different actions. Because we will see different things. We will have a completely different focus. We will pay attention to different things. We will attract different people, circumstances, and possibilities. So I just can underline the importance of what you just said.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think there's also one more point about self-image that is very, very important to underline, because the things that you believe about yourself, especially what you believe that you deserve, you will get. So how can people start to escape this negative loop where they subconsciously sabotage themselves because somehow they believe that they don't deserve to be successful?
Yeah, that's a great question. And a lot of people, I think, have this topic that they are feeling, the feeling of not deserving the things that they want, or that they're not good enough. I mean, a lot of people have the inner belief, I'm not good enough. And this belief is tied to experiences in the childhood, experiences of a world of constant comparison from the not abundant state. I'm comparing myself to one of my role models to get motivation or to see what I can do. The comparison of lack. Somebody sees someone, this guy is better on this and this and this, and then you don't feel self-worthy enough anymore. And two things, you get what you accept. Some people, they feel that they cannot accept huge amounts of money or huge amounts of success, and you get what you feel and believe that you deserve. Because if you don't feel that you deserve, for example, $1 million or $100,000 per month, what will happen if you feel that you don't deserve $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 per month, and you feel, I'm not good enough, I'm not deserving it, which energy are you pairing to this state of reality? Which energy are you pairing to the 20,000 per month, 10,000 per month, $1 million? Is it a higher frequency and a higher energy? Or is this, I am not deserving it energy, rather energy of shame, of guilt? So the two lowest frequencies, if we're looking at the frequency chart of Hawkins, the two lowest frequencies on those charts. And if you combine this low frequency with the amount of money you want to make, because in your mind you think it will give you joy and you can live a life in freedom, how do you want to attract it? If you imagine right now different frequency lines, okay? And the 20,000 euros or dollars per month you want to earn is on this frequency line. But when you think about this money and when you try to plan to earn this money and when you write down this goal, but you have this lack emotion tied to it, then you're vibrating on this frequency line. So this what you want is vibrating here. The frequency line you're on is right down there. And the law of frequency or the law of resonance is telling us, or the law of vibration states that you have to vibrate in the frequency of the thing that you want or the reality you want to experience so that you can attract it towards you and that you can be attracted toward it. And if you're not vibrating on the same frequency, it's very hard to experience it. So if you don't think that you deserve this money which your mind wants to earn, you're not in the same vibration of it, and then the law of attraction is still working, but you just didn't set the right cause to attract the thing you want in the outside world. This is also what I'm always telling my mentoring members. Each and every one of us is successful all of the time. Also from one of my mentors, something that he explained to me. Everybody is successful every minute of the day. The only question is the success that you want to perceive and that you want to have in your life coming to your life or not? But if you say you want to make $20,000 per month and then you make $5,000 per month, the $5,000 is a success. It's not the success that you wanted, but it is a result that happened into your life. And the people interpret it as unsuccessful month. But they didn't set the right cause. Otherwise, they would have made the $20,000. Most people also don't really want it, because I say if you really wanted it from a state of abundance, from a state of conscious creation, then you would receive it. Then you would have it, or then you would make steps towards this reality. So how can you now change this inner belief system that you maybe don't deserve this money? First and foremost, your self-worth should not be tied to anything in the outside. Not tied to your look, not tied to your car. Your self-worth should be tied to nothing else than your pure and highest consciousness. And your pure and highest consciousness is part of the one source, and the one source is God. It's just one part of the true life essence of everything, of the God essence. So if you know this, how can you think that you're not worth of anything in this world? And the second thing is that you can decide what you feel that you're worthy of having and not having. That you can decide of deserving what you want to deserve or what you want to have in your life. Because why do you feel that you don't deserve it? Because of programming from the outside, because of past experiences, because of maybe what your teachers, what your parents, what the society is trying to tell you. But why do you give those people the permission to do this? Why do you give those people in the outside world more power than yourself? Because I said to myself, I decide pure consciously that I deserve everything what I wish for in this life. I deserve everything what I want to have. I deserve everything that I truly set out to manifest in my life. It doesn't matter how big it is. It doesn't matter what I need to do for it. It doesn't matter if it fits into the norm. And it doesn't matter if anyone else in the world thinks I should have it or not have it. This is completely something that doesn't matter to me. I chose that I deserve everything what I truly want to experience and what I truly want to create from my heart. So, true decision, you can only do this true decision if you, what we have spoken about before, realize who you really are and also go into the state of your true self. Secondly, don't tie your self-worth to anything on the outside. You are pure life force. You are pure love. You don't need to think about, am I worthy of this or worthy of... No, you are. You just are. And the third thing is, when you still have these self-limiting beliefs, and you know this, Chris, also what I'm talking about at my life masterminds, one of my main teachings is change your subconscious beliefs. Change your inner software. Because when you change your inner software, if you change your deepest beliefs about yourself and about the world, which are programmed in your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind influences what you perceive in the outside, what you think, what you feel, what you do, then if you change this inside of yourself as the deep program, the projection in the outside will change.
Absolutely. And what you just said is so powerful, this realization that you are one with this all, the source, God, if you so will, is something so powerful because it also makes it irrelevant, or it makes it impossible that you need to be afraid anymore. You know that you are protected, that only the best awaits you in the world. And when you realize this, you can truly change your beliefs. And one more very important step is what you also said before, is remove yourself from negative frequencies, negative vibrations, guilt, shame. Do the things that you say you will do, and you don't need to be ashamed anymore.
100%.
Believe in yourself, trust in yourself, and show yourself that you can trust yourself, because this is how you level up your frequency. You will develop a beautiful self-image. You will see yourself in a whole different light when you finally step out and show up for yourself. And there's my next question, especially for the man out there, but everybody basically. What role do you think lust plays in everyone's life?
So lust, of course, is playing a big role in almost every people's lives, because I think everyone experienced the temptation of lust in his life, or maybe will experience it, but I think most people already have experienced it. And one thing we need to understand, we always have a lot of options in this life. Also, it's our free choice a lot of times, but also the realization I just gave you that sometimes we think that we choose this consciously, but this choice is also influenced by our subconscious program, by our subconscious inner beliefs. So also be aware of that. I just want to state this at this point. Lust is something which a lot of times can be negative because it tries to bring you off of your path, or it tries to bring you off of your conscious decisions, but not always it's something negative. Not always it has a negative side, because I'm somebody who always talk about yin and yang energy, about the outside and the inside, about plus and minus, and about the wholeness of both sides. So for example, if you consciously decide that you want to, for example, eat healthy and have a vital body and eat foods which are contributing to your energy, and then you get the lust after 2 days of eating this ice cream, of eating this cake or something like this, and the lust becomes stronger than your conscious decision of not doing it and then your word, then it can lead to a problem. Because if you then follow your lust, you say, hey, the lust of the outward external things, because lust comes from external things, can be from a beautiful woman, can be from a good-looking dessert, can be from a friend who says, hey, come, let's go to the club, let's drink alcohol, but actually you wanted to do your next external steps for your business. It's always something externally, what you can experience, what you can do, what you can feel. And often those short dopamine kicks which bring you in this state of lust, then this can be a huge distraction. And one thing everybody out there should know, when you are on the path to greatness, when you are on the path of achieving your goals or creating your higher vision, there always be distractions in your life. Because one thing we cannot turn off that distractions will be there. We can just learn to master ourselves and therefore master how we deal with the distractions that come. Because if you're on one path, a distraction wants to bring you away from this path. It wants to bring you onto a other thing, onto a other path maybe, or it wants to bring you that you spend your time with doing other things or things that hold you back, or that just are stepping stones in your journey. So lust on this way can be a huge distraction. So every and each of one of you should learn to master yourself, because the more you master yourself and also the more you love yourself, you will not fall into those traps anymore. Once I started to truly love myself, love my body, love my being, love my own word, respect myself, trust myself, be aware of who I am, then I didn't want to shit on my word. I didn't want to push something inside of my body which is contributing to my body being unhealthy or not looking good. I didn't want this anymore, because if I love my body, I want to do things that are good for my body. If I love my child, I want to do things that are good for my child, not things that are bad for my child. So self-respect, self-love, your self-image, also again your inner belief system, that you have the pure inner knowing. If distractions come, I still will follow my higher purpose. I still will follow my higher path. If you have this inner belief, this will be much stronger than the lust which tries to bring you out of your way or your path. But I said also previously, it can be something positive. Why? It can be, if the lust comes, exactly this invitation of life to give you the chance to master yourself. Because if everything in the outside is always going well, if there are no distractions, if there's nothing going into difficult situations, if everything is running perfectly smooth, this state can come if you're in a higher state of awareness and consciousness and energy, but where's then the potential to grow? I welcome issues and certain situations. I welcome them into my life because they help me to grow even more. And the second thing, the lust, everything I always can have from different energies. For example, you can have this lust. If you see a woman, you can have this predator energy, this lust, just pure bodies, sexual lust, and from this greedy frequency, from this animalistic frequency, then it's a low frequency. But for example, if I have a beautiful evening with my woman, and then we are performing a tantric massage on each other, and there we feel this lust, but not from a low vibrational state, from this state of love, from gratitude, from giving, from highest excitement, then this lust is nothing bad in my eyes. It's something which can be very, very powerful. But what is the difference, Chris? The one thing is, the one is not consciously in place. It comes maybe when we just at the moment decided to do something else. Then it's the question, do we fall into it or not? And the other lust I just explained or described is a conscious process where I also consciously indulge into it out of a higher frequency. And this would be my answer to this topic.
A wonderful answer. And I want to add something to that, because I think the most important difference between those two circumstances is that one leads to creation, right? Yeah. You create something together with the partner that you have by your side, and the other one is simply fulfilling your urges, and then there's nothing coming out of it.
True.
And I also think that lust and all other distractions can always be a huge opportunity to show up for yourself, to prove to yourself that you are who you say that you are, who you believe that you are.
Yeah. And also this, as you said, exactly this is the point. Is it the lust of just, I need to animalistically fulfill my needs now, or can I have just the lust to, but I don't know if we can say it in the same way, because lust in German, you also speak German, you can say, I have this lower vibrational lust, and I can say in German, ich habe einfach Lust, jetzt den Lamborghini zu fahren. It means that I just want to experience this right now consciously, not from a state of lack, from a state of abundance. Then it's maybe a similar word, but different meanings and different qualities of it.
Exactly, and I think you're absolutely right. It always boils down to awareness. Am I doing this right now consciously as it fits to my higher self? Would my higher self, my best version, do this as well? Or do I need to be ashamed if I do this now and hide it somehow or put it under the rug, right?
Because I feel that it's not the right thing to do, but maybe my body wants this fulfillment right now, and then I fall into it. This is then an unconscious process, because consciously you feel, okay, my highest version would not do it, and then you should not do it. Very simple.
Exactly. How important do you think is the right partner at your side?
This is a very important thing. So I also want to specify this, because I always try to give different angles to a thing. So the right partner, first of all, we need to ask ourselves, right for what? The right partner for building your legacy, for building your business as a man, for building your dream life, there you need to have the right partner, yes. But sometimes maybe you attract a partner into your life who is not the right partner for this specific outcome, but in this exact moment the right partner to show you something. Because maybe you attract a partner into your life who completely triggers you, who triggers inner wounds, who triggers the feeling of jealousy, for example, and all of those things. And maybe this partner comes into your life, you attract this partner, that he or she can show you and show you subconsciously that you have things inside of you that are not healed yet. And this partnership can be something that reveals those inner themes that you maybe don't get to experience if you don't have this partnership, because in a partnership we can learn a lot about ourselves and experience feelings and emotions more extreme than in other realms of our life. So to have the right partner, 100%, it's very important, and I agree. Just the question is, the right partner for what outcome? And if we attract certain people into our life, can we also realize what the gift of this partnership is at the moment, and for what exact specific situation in my life this partnership is rightful now. But yeah, I mean, in the sense of your question, the right partner, if you want to become your best version, if you want to achieve your goals, it's absolutely important. Because if your woman doesn't support you, if your woman is a stepping stone in your life as an ambitious guy, then you will always have conflict. Then you will always have disharmony. And after some time, either you will shit on your goals and on being your highest version, or you need to let go of the partnership. Because for me, for example, my vision and my goals, they are so huge. My mission in my heart is so great that I will not let this mission slip, or I will not just let this mission or my vision left aside for a person in my life. And it doesn't matter if I love the person with all of my heart. It doesn't matter if I love this person so strongly and so much. The person who loves me truly and unconditionally will want that I be my best version, will want that I fulfill my goals, will want that I live my higher self, will want that I bring my mission and my vision into the world, and will not try to bring me back from this path, rather will try to support me on this way and on this mission. So the right partner to grow together, to have a vision together, to support each other, and let those ego mechanics aside, and just being happy if you see your partner bloom and being the best version of themselves. This is extremely and utterly important. And if you attract somebody into your life, and it is from the beginning like this, it's perfect. If you attract somebody into your life where you need to work on this, it's also okay. Then you attract this for a specific reason, so you can grow together and you can take those steps together. But one thing must be there, the willingness. If my girlfriend is not willing to learn and grow with me, what will happen is I will grow, and she will try to sabotage my growth, and then there will not be this connection energy anymore. Then there will not be the same feeling anymore in the partnership. If my girlfriend maybe didn't have the interest in consciousness or in energy before, it's absolutely no problem. But if she's willing now, because she's together with me, to learn and grow with me together, then this is a wonderful and beautiful thing.
I think you said something very true here, that there are only right partners.
Yeah.
Right partners for the exact moment you are in. You just have to have the wisdom to see what they want to show you and what they can teach you, because we do not only see life as we are, but we also see people as we are. They are mirrors in our life that show us the reflection that we need to see. We just have to have the wisdom to accept.
100%.
Speaking about these reflections in life, I think there's not only the female partners that we attract in our life and the business partners. Everybody is showing us how we are, what we can learn, how we can introspect, go into ourselves, go into the stillness, and find out who we are, who we want to build, and then stay true and authentic to this. And you see, everything always ties back into this notion about self-image, trust, belief, and high frequency.
100%.
What do you think is something that people don't want to hear when it comes to success or money, and what you have to do in order to get that?
Yeah, so first of all, I state many times, sacrifice creates paradise. So first of all, you said it before, success is not always a process of building more things on top of yourself. Success is often a removal process. So you need to ask yourself, what should I remove to become more successful? What should I remove that I can become this true self also in my presence while I'm living, while I'm doing or taking an action? Because we are highest consciousness. We are joy, we are gratitude, we are love, we are the light, if we're lightful beings, so to say. And if we're soulful beings, then we are the light. But many people don't experience this because they have a lot of filters over their true self and identify with those filters, and then they cannot experience the fullness of their true self and of their life and of the present moment and the wonders the present moment itself is holding. So the first thing is, sacrifice creates paradise. And I don't mean it only in the sense to sacrifice the classic things. Yeah, sacrifice the laziness, sacrifice the partying all of the time. You don't even actually have to sacrifice to go to parties, because if you go to a party once in a while and you have a high frequency while you go there and you do it consciously, it even can contribute to your success and to building your business, because you are in a high frequency, you have joy, you can get to know people. Also here, it's just, am I doing it to escape my reality? Or am I doing it just consciously to go in a higher state and my highest excitement and to have joy and fun in a high frequency? So, I mean, with sacrifice your old thought patterns. Sacrifice your old habits. Sacrifice your old self. Sacrifice the version of yourself which is living in lack, which is living in disbelief, which is living in negativity. Sacrifice this version of yourself to become and to step into the new version. Because if we want to be our new higher version, our new highest self, the version 2.0 of us, we need to let go of the old one. We need to let go of the current version. So this is what I mean with sacrifice creates paradise, because paradise is not something which awaits us in the future. You can live in paradise right now. If you're in your highest frequency state, if you live in a place of joy, abundance, and fulfillment, then you will feel that paradise is now. And this is a wonderful thing, if we can truly experience this. So people just need to be willing to sacrifice their old habits, their old beliefs, and their old ways of doing things. And often it's easier said than done, because the mind and the old programs, they don't want to die. They want to stay alive. So in the start, it may be that they work against your will of changing yourself and your subconscious belief, but there you just need to have a vision and a inner decision which is stronger than these old parts of yourself that still want to exist. Because your mind thinks if your old self exists, everything is how it is right now and everything is safe, because the unknowing, the unknowing world in front of us, our mind is often scared of stepping into this because we don't know what will happen, but only if we step out of our comfort zone, then we will have growth, then we will get to experience completely new dimensions of our life. So this is the first important thing, also to sacrifice this comfort zone and to do new things, to become a completely new version of yourself. The second thing, if you want to be successful, is to become the success, to radiate the success, to create the success and the feeling of the success internally, inside of yourself. What I discussed earlier in my phrase, what we wish to see externally, we shall first create internally, because outside, also as you said, outside life will mirror our inner conscious state. And the third thing is, you need the right system. Speaking of the outer world, it doesn't mean that you need to know what is the right system now, because in the right energy, you also will attract the right opportunities at the right time. But in the physical world, you need to have the right system or attract the right system which can lead you to the life you want to live. Because I give you an explanation. If you want to make $100,000 per month in earnings from everywhere around the world, just with your smartphone and with a Wi-Fi connection, then it will be not enough to work 9 to 5 in a grocery store at the cash desk and doing just this. Like, if you manifest it and you are in this situation right now, before you will attract these 100,000 euros or dollars per month, you will attract the possibility and the opportunity to step into a system which can lead you then through this energy to the 100,000 euros. But when the opportunity comes, you also need to take the opportunity and take the step. So this is also an important thing. If you invest your time into a system right now where you know that you're limited and where you know that it's impossible of achieving your goals, then you should immediately start to get into this observing perspective again and say, okay, I'm doing this right now, but I need to start to open my eyes to experience, because all opportunities, they are already here. The reality you want to live, it is already here. You just need to open your eyes, expand your consciousness, expand your awareness, and attract the right new opportunity, the right new system, where you then can consciously upgrade your skills, upgrade your personality, upgrade your action steps in the right system. And if you do this over a long period of time, success will naturally flow into your life. And this is also a saying, you heard it many times from me. I say in German, if you want to be successful, you have to do the right things right, from the right energy, often. Very simple. The right things, the right causes, with a high quality, so with a high skill set, you do them really good. You do them often, not just one time. You repeatedly do those action steps which will lead you to your outcome which you desire. And you do it from the right energy. And the right energy is not the energy of wanting. The right energy is the energy of living as your wish is already fulfilled, as if it already would be your reality. Because inside, it can be your reality at any time. Yes, also now, in this very moment when you listen to the podcast.
Absolutely. And what you described here is what I would call the manifestation triangle. So it's not enough to sit on the couch and think about the things that you would like to have, but you also have to connect your emotion, bring the energy, your energy in motion and massive action to the table in order to fulfill the manifestation triangle.
Yeah.
What is your next goal that excites you most?
That's a great question. The next goal that excites me most is building the biggest sales and, in combination, spirituality, mentoring community in the German area, in the German space, in the German market, because this is a vehicle of not only, of course, leading to financial success, which is through the law of compensation, just a natural byproduct of this goal or this mission which I'm pursuing. But what excites me the most is knowing that through the experience I made with those learnings, those teachings and those topics, if I'm having the biggest organization community, it means I have the biggest impact. Because if I have the biggest group of people who are living those truths and who are living those learnings, it means that a big group of people will have a great and massive improvement in their life, will live in inner and outer freedom, abundance, and my deepest wish from a state of abundance is just that people can experience this fullness of feeling success also in the inside, which I am feeling. And this doesn't have to be tied to a specific money amount, because there are many people, they have billions more, but it doesn't matter. This feeling is so wonderful, is so fulfilling. And this is just my mission to help people find the right button in themselves that they can press, that they also feel this. And I just feel that I have like the mission, like God gave me this mission and these gifts to inspire the people. And if you have this gift, of course, naturally, you will want to make it as big as possible. So my goal is by end of 2028 to have the #1 largest sales, spirituality, consciousness, business and abundance community, consultancy and a mentoring program in the German-speaking area with more than 10,000, even more than 100,000 mentoring and community members. And yeah, of course I have financial goals. I have goals for all of my companies, specifically 1-year goals, 3-year goals, 5-year goals. And I also have materialistic goals, but of course I have non-materialistic goals, family and all of those things. But my mission goal is to build this organization. And then with my ecosystem, because I'm building ecosystems around this, to give people the opportunity to work with different sales companies as a partner, where I can then give people the opportunity to use their sales skills and to get the right position in the right niche or in the right business field. So to have partnerships in the different business fields, in the different areas, to build softwares that are helping the people in their business ventures. So my process, which I'm building now since years and continue to build, is just to build a big ecosystem of communities, companies, partnerships around this mission and around these topics.
That's an absolutely beautiful vision. And what I find even more beautiful is that you will be single-handedly responsible for a huge raise in global consciousness if you help people find who they are, what their purpose is, and to actually live true to themselves.
What about yours?
Oh, I have very similar goals. The biggest goal right now in this year for me is to help as many people as possible to figure out what their purpose is, to help them to live true to themselves, to strengthen their self-image, finally become confident in themselves, and give the world the gift that they carry within themselves.
Nice. Amazing.
Before we bring this podcast to a conclusion, what is your philosophy if you had to summarize it in a single sentence?
My life's philosophy. This is a very interesting and nice question. And what comes to my consciousness, my life's philosophy is that the purpose of this life is to experience that you are this life. And once you experience that you are this life, to just really live your life and that you can enjoy every single moment. Also, if in this moment painful things are happening, challenges are happening, situations where you don't know what to do are happening, in the purest essence of the moment, doesn't matter how the moment is filled, that just the fact that you can live this moment, be the life in this moment, just this fact in the purest essence can bring you a pure sense of presence, of joy, and of connection to this what you truly are, which is the life itself. And once you experience that you are the life, you will feel this joy, you will feel the love, you will feel the gratitude, and this will fulfill every single aspect of your life. So yeah, my philosophy is to live, and the purpose is to live and to experience you are the life, and that you are eternity, pure consciousness, pure life force, pure soul, and pure love, if you're a lightful soul, so to say. This is my philosophy to life, and life has a lot of paradoxons, because also one of my philosophies that yes, we are eternal, but also in eternity we only have this moment, because everything what you experience in your life was always in a present moment. What we're doing right now is always in the present moment. So this paradoxon of eternity, but all comes down to the moment is all there is and all there exists. And also the second thing, everything is so important and so wonderful, but at the same time it's so irrelevant. So this conversation now is so important because it can change 100,000 of lives, but at the same time, if one person is looking to it, it's also completely fine. So it's also irrelevant. So this fullness and this wholeness of life, this is what's beautiful if you see it in this aspect, and this is my philosophy.
Well, there were a couple more than one sentence, but I love the picture, and I can absolutely agree. If you live true to this credo, you create a beautiful life.
Yeah,
Raphael, it was a true pleasure having you here, talking with you, feeling the energy, and I'm sure that everybody agrees watching this. Where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
First of all, dear Chris, thank you for inviting me to this podcast. It was also a pleasure to speak with you. Also a pleasure to do my first podcast in English. And every time when we meet, we have wonderful conversations on very interesting and philosophical topics. So I always enjoy to speak high quality with you. And we are speaking about similar things. We're having similar views, and we both are just on the path to awaken more and more and to help more and more people to awaken. So it's always very important in life to connect with like-minded people. So thank you for the invitation, first of all. And yeah, thank you for each and every one of you who listened to this podcast, who invested their time. The most important thing, guys, the things Chris and myself, we talked about, don't just listen because you just listen. Listen and try to feed it. Listen and try to implement into your life. Listen to this podcast as an invitation to go deeper into those topics, to get to know yourself even deeper, to maybe just sit down after the podcast, completely quiet, without any distractions, and just ask yourself the question, who am I? Who am I really behind the facade? And just stay in stillness for 10-15 minutes and see what consciously appears suddenly inside of yourself, what you can become aware of. This is what I want to tell each and every one of you from my heart, and I wish all of you blessings and the best things in your life. And you can find me on Instagram, Raphael Zenaty, Raphael with PH, or I think it shouldn't.
Yeah,
you can put the link
yeah.
downwards. You can just find me on Instagram. There I'm doing stories, and there I'm also my captions of my pictures are also in English, so that people can understand a few things of what I'm writing. All of the German people, I have a YouTube channel, also Raphael Zenaty, where I'm posting a few videos exactly to these topics. And yeah, these are the two main platforms I'm using where I'm talking to people, where I'm answering to questions, Instagram and YouTube. And yeah, all of the English people, I think with Chris you have a really cool and well-known, experienced mentor and guide for exactly those topics. So make also sure to check him out. And if you have any questions to my journey or to my things that I shared, just shoot me a message on English. I'm happy to answer some questions. And yeah, thank you for having me on the podcast.
Thank you.